Mazda likes to position their cars as having a sportier personality than the better-known competition. In the case of the Mazda6, that means you, Accord and Camry. Let's take a look at a 6i sedan Touring Plus and see if Zoom Zoom is more than a slogan while we check the tech. In the U.S., a Mazda 6 means a sedan with something of a coupe-like roofline. We don't get the station wagon, we don't get the hatchback. Ours arrived in Kona blue over really easily soiled gray cloth. Our car is a Touring Plus, which is a very popular model, kind of mid-range on the Mazda 6 among the four cylinders. There's also a Touring. The differences are pretty slight, and both of these Touring-style cars really don't let you order a lot of options. That's kind of the headline here. The head unit on these cars, AM/FM, 6-disc CD with MP3 disc readability. Satellite radio ready, but that's an a la carte add-on if you actually want to activate the Sirius satellite radio. Because we have a Touring Plus, it adds A2DP stereo Bluetooth streaming. The Touring would not have that. All these cars in this trim level have an aux jack in here alongside a 12-volt port. Pretty standard stuff. Let's talk about all the things that are not available in this car. You can't get GPS nav on a Touring or Touring Plus. You cannot get a manual transmission on this car. Nor keyless entry. You got to use a regular traditional key. Nor can you get heated seats. So you really need to step up one or two to get the optionability or the standard equipment you want. You're really hemmed in down here at Touring and Touring Plus. Now, what you do find on Touring and Touring Plus, even though they're relatively low-ball cars, they do include standard blind spot monitoring. That's a little bit odd to me. And you see the indicator in the mirrors. And if you signal to change into that lane, it gives you a beep on top of that to really let you know, do you know what you're about to do? Touring Plus adds this glass power sunroof. Touring doesn't have it or even offer it. The Touring Plus gives you a 5-speed automatic with no choice of getting a manual transmission. The Touring lets you have a manual if you'd like, and you've got a shiftable gate on this automatic, garden variety stuff. This is not a sport transmission, no paddles or anything, just the ability to find the gear this way. Now, thumbs up to Mazda for, I think, getting a more grown-up look into this class of cars and a little less of that Zoom Zoom Boy racer stuff in previous generations. This is a nice looking cabin, some good satin finishes here, this goofy plastic wood doesn't offend me, and some nice contours here that say a nicer car than you might expect for the money. On the other hand, thumbs down for them hanging on to this goofy concentric circle thing they do on their head units. This is making me nuts. Let me show you some things that have stuck in my craw over 2 full days of driving. First of all, these preset buttons. 1, 2, down to 3, over to 4, 5, down to 6. Huh? Maybe I'm just OCD about that, but that's driving me crazy. Secondly, what's with all this circle stuff anyway? What does that mean? Is this like inferring the shape of a compact disc? I find it over 2 days a hard head unit to get muscle memory for. Maybe it's just me. Climate system, even on this Touring Plus, is non-ATC. So you're not going to set a temperature. You're going to dial in how much hot and tell the fan how fast to blow. That's getting kind of long in the tooth these days, especially for a car like this that isn't exactly competing with a Fit or a Versa. This is competing with Camry and Accord. Now, 2 kinds of motors available on a Mazda 6. We have the smaller one, only the top trim cars available with the V6. This 2.5-liter inline-4 is 170 horse, 167 foot-pounds of torque. Now you're going to get 2130 mpg, 1 mpg lower on each count if you had a manual transmission. That, of course, would be a Touring, not a Touring Plus. Greenhouse and pollution scores are fine, 6 and 6 in each category. On a scale of 10, higher is better. On the road, not a lot of zoom zoom coming out of this 2.5-liter 4. It's probably a more willing motor than it seems, but the 5-speed automatic in our car piles on to continue muting the output. Lots of slippery revving when you step on it, but not a lot happens. 0 to 60 in a little over 9 seconds isn't sharp, no matter what the reason. I just wanted more engagement. Okay, let's price one of these Mazda 6 Tourings. Now that's the cheaper one, $21,600, about the price there. That would have a manual transmission. If you go to the Touring Plus, you get into an automatic transmission, or you can get the automatic for $900 on the Touring. You with me? The Touring Plus car that we have here is $1,950 more. It includes the automatic, as I mentioned, Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth stereo streaming, the power glass sunroof, and a couple other niceties. Couple a la carte things. Remote start is $350, and Sirius satellite radio is $430.